Okay. So, Kim, me and you were in, you went to school for political science. What's some things going on right now when it comes to politics and real estate?
So right now, we're entertaining a bill in the Senate, Senate Bill 382, which basically says that they're going to phase out our tax exempts or our homestead exemption, which pays into our public school education. And as a matter of fact, it pays into our private school education as well. And that's also included in the House Bill 1114. So these bills allows us to phase it out by 3032. We won't have any property taxes. Well, most people don't understand that a large portion of our property taxes support our public schools.
Right.
And if we're not supporting our public schools, our communities start to fail. Our communities are no longer thriving. Therefore,
Right.
our schools are no longer thriving, and our real estate is no longer thriving.
Yeah.
So, as you may know, in most areas where the schools are failing, you usually have failing real estate as well, except for, those areas we have affluent people that have kids and they send them to the private school.
Right.
Well, they benefit from those property taxes going to the school as well, because they get to have private school vouchers, because they can say, oh, I have this failing school that I don't want to send my child to, so now they get this voucher to send their child to this private school. And it doesn't matter if it's the elementary school is thriving, which is in most cases in the northeast side of Atlanta public schools and DeKalb schools, where they have nice elementary schools that are thriving, but by the time they get to the high schools, some of the high schools are failing, where those families can claim to get that public school money from our property taxes to fund their private school education. Yeah. So right now is really putting real estate in a pickle, because yes, we will be able to lower our monthly payment because now we don't have property taxes. But at the same time, the values will decrease on these properties, and these areas where that's affluent may not be anymore, because you're not providing an equal education to the equal opportunity of businesses thriving in the same area.
Wow. Yeah. So by not paying property taxes, like you're saying, it's basically affecting the educational system. Yeah. Whether it's lower class, middle class, even affluent neighborhoods. Yeah.
That's correct. I don't know, but people just don't realize that the heartbeat of our communities and the value of our properties depend on the schools.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, taking that property taxes away could bite us.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what's going on right now in politics. It directly affects real estate. Every time we go into session in the state capital of Georgia, I'm there watching, because I want to know who's going to get hit next. What are we approving funding for that's going to influence different communities? And then I can advise my clients that this is where you want to go. This is not where you want to go. And especially with our rural areas, they're really going to be influenced this year by the votes that we have come November. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because our a rural area is kind of the same as having more of our poverty-stricken areas. They don't have the same resources as everybody else.
Right.
Like they don't have the hospitals. They don't have the amenities that a city has.
Right.
And they don't have the voice that a city has. So we have more people that may come out to vote in the city than we may in the rural area. So they don't have a voice to support themselves as much as city does.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of real estate, large pieces of land and stuff that we don't know who owned it and when they owned it. And a lot of time we'll take advantage of that and build things in those communities that the residents, the constituents may not want.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that's going on right now is in this next election, which is going to be November of this year.
Right.
It's going to affect our rural areas. And I know a lot of people that move to rural areas move there for a reason, because they wanted to be in rural areas, which is fine. And, it's up to you where you want to live.
Right.
But at the same time, I just feel bad about the representation sometimes they have, the voice they have to represent them in keeping their rural area rural.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Right insights there. Appreciate you sharing, Kim. Definitely. Okay. So what we'll do now is transition, Kim, into some of your community work. Let's talk a little bit about your Family Community Engagement Society.
Yeah. So Family and Community Engagement Society, FACES, is my second company that I started. And I actually started that in 2020. Again, I can't sit still.
Yeah.
I started my first company when I was pregnant with my second child. I started this company during COVID. And it's basically because I was always going to advocate without any company that I was representing or organization that I was representing. I was just that community leader that was at the schools advocating for our communities, or at the Capitol advocating for our communities, or at different educational opportunities for me to advocate. And they always want to know, well, who do you work for, or who do you represent? And it was like, well, I'm really a real estate broker. Even though that makes a lot of sense, that if you're selling real estate, you know what's going on in the community.
Right.
Most people didn't think that.
Yeah.
So then I started Family Community Engagement Society, and I started educating parents on how to advocate for their students in the school, because you want to have a great school system.
Right.
And then I also started helping the communities to advocate for them as well. So not only do you have your parents that's advocating at the school for you, but you have people in the communities that may not have any children at all that learn how to advocate for these same students. Because again, without great schools, you won't have thriving communities. Without thriving communities, you won't have thriving real estate.
Right.
So it circled back to what I was doing anyway.
Hello, this is G Bass, Rise of the 1%, Rise Media. We on this Saturday evening about to get ready to knock out some podcast episodes with some individuals here in the city of Atlanta making some big moves. You can see here, look, this is how it goes down. Here when our guests come and sit down with myself, G Bass, other Rise of the 1% of Rise Media, to have that conversation. To share the story, share the journey, share what you got going on. So listen, everybody got a story, everybody got a journey, and then you got some things going on, then you definitely can get with us and see if it'll be a fit to be on the Rise of 1% podcast and actually have that discussion with myself. It's going to be a link to a form you can fill out. You said www.theriseof1%.com/pod form. Again, www.theriseof1%.com/pod form. It's going to be in this video. You can fill that out, and we can see if there'll be a fit for you to come on and have that conversation with myself. If you don't fill out the form, then obviously it's not for you, and that's fine. We're looking for those that's serious. Those that's serious about rising to the top 1% are already in the 1%. That's what we're looking to sit down with myself right here. As you can see, Rise Media, Rise of the 1%. This is how we get down. We have a great time and have a lot of fun doing it. So once again, if you're serious, make sure you fill out the form. We'll look over the form, see if it's a fit. If it's a fit, we'll reach out. If not, we won't reach out. We'll just continue to move forward. But with that said, this is G Bass. See you soon. Have a great one on purpose.